dannylau here, Line Real Estate, empowering individuals and families with financial success through real estate. I want to start out by sharing a story about how I got my butt kicked on an offer that I wrote on behalf of my buyers the other day. So there's this home that was listed at $372,000 in Sacramento. Really cute buttoned up home. Now, it's no surprise that there are a lot of competition in this market. It's no surprise that there is not enough supply for the demand out there. So we knew we're competing. Now, this home listed at $372,000. We wrote a very, very clean offer, given that my buyers are conventional and they're really giving me a lot of flexibility to write a really clean offer. So we wrote a $395,000. That's $23,000 over the asking. We had no appraisal contingency. We had no loan contingency because these buyers were already pre-underwritten with a lender. And then the inspection contingency, we were only doing it for 5 days. So this offer really is going to be as clean as it comes. Ultimately, we're pinned against other offers. We were not even close. The sellers got over $400,000 offer. And so the part that baffles me the most is not just the competition, but the closest comp in this neighborhood was actually sold back in September. It's the same exact floor plan down the street. So it's basically identical home. Also, another updated, nice looking home that's not with any hidden major issues. This home in September was listed at $350,000. They sold it at $370,000. So some buyers bought it with $20,000 over the asking. The home that we wrote on last week that I got my butt kicked on was listed at $372,000. We wrote at $395,000, and then they got over $400,000. And so there's this buyer who bought back in September who just gained $30,000, $40,000 in equity. And that was what blew my mind the most. So here's actually 2 lessons for me in this particular situation. The first thing is, well, it's an incredible time to sell. For sellers right now, the pent-up demand is so huge that you do not and should not wait until springtime or summertime because people are lining out the door bidding on your home. The second lesson here is, I'm going to be the first one to admit my mistake. It is my fault that we got our butts kicked. I did not do enough homework. I thought I was really calibrated with the market and understand the psychology behind the competition and have done enough research to really push my buyers into the strongest position. However, I fell short. I underestimated how competitive the market is and how much cash is out there sloshing in this market. And so fast forward to how that relates to this bigger real estate market. I think there is a lot of people, buyers, who's trying to get ahead of the Fed's raising interest rates. They're probably looking down 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the pipeline and think that, okay, affordability is going to go down. And so they want to get themselves in prior to another bump up down the road. And then another thing is, there's a lot of these sellers that has gone way over the asking price on their homes, and they sold it, let's say $100,000 over what they were originally thinking they had, But now where are you going to go? You still need to live somewhere. So now these sellers are out there shopping with a lot of cash in their pockets, and they're willing to go above and beyond when they're now bidding on the next house. And so there's a lot of capital and pent up demand in this market. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you're a seller thinking about selling, holy smokes, this particular market in Northern California, in Sacramento Valley right now, to me, I feel that it's maybe hotter than summer of 2021. And so I think for sellers, there's almost like a no-brainer to take advantage of. Now for buyers, it could sound like a little bit of discouraging news. Now that's not the goal of tonight's video. That's not what I'm trying to tell people, is to discourage buyers. Because ultimately, if a home checks all the boxes and it is a reasonable, affordable price for you and your family, I think it definitely still makes sense to pull the trigger. But I really want to illustrate what type of market level we're dealing with here. And so that when buyers are going out there shopping, you have a realistic expectation of what's going on. Now, I also don't think this type of frenzy is going to last all year because of the interest rate uptick. And also, I do anticipate more supply to come up in the market. So right now, it's almost like as if a clock is stuck in the drain pipe. And as soon as this clock, the pent-up demand, is pushed out of the way, the market demand and supply may be slightly tipping more towards the buyer's favor. So that being said, I do anticipate more supplies and more inventory coming on the market in the next 3 to 6 months. And if you're a buyer and you have time on your side, use that to your advantage and be patient. Ultimately, there's a few interesting nuggets that between my personal experience and personal lessons that I'm learning this week, and also a broader market dynamics that I'm sharing with everybody, I think there's a few very interesting nuggets here. So I hope you guys enjoy this little anecdotal story that I'm sharing with everybody. If you got any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Give me a like, share, and a follow. I hope everyone has a fantastic year of the tiger. And this is Danny Lau. I'll see you guys next time.